Just say something for me really quick.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum with a lot of life.
Hello, you crazy dick fucker!
Party time!
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. And hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and it's always good to be seen. My name is Izzy Presley, and yes, this is another fucking podcast. I have a great show coming up for you today. We are live. It is 1 p.m. Hotel California time, and on the blower, I have my good friend JellyBean Johnson. They get into him in just 1 second. Kind of doing this a little bit different. There is no video today, and I'm trying to get his audio going in here, and we will get that in just 1 second because I have not used this gimmick in a while. The speaker default say, JellyBean, just give me a little something. I want to make sure I got you here. I want to make sure everybody else can hear you.
Well, yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool.
Hey,
All
Kelly.
right.
What's up, Kelly?
All right, we got you. All right, I'm going to mute you again for a second. I just want to make sure we were working. All right, very well. Make sure you guys hit up all the social media at Real Izzy Presley, all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And, of course, the show page is called Another Effin' Podcast. On that show page, you can buy all of the great merch, like all the T-shirts, all the Act Tribute to Ace Frehley T-shirts, all that good stuff, and that goes right into paying my rent, like a good podcaster, musician, actor, comedy guy does. And if you do enjoy what I do, you do like the show, make sure you can donate to the show. It's really, really easy. izzypresley at yahoo.com is your PayPal. And what else do we got? All that good. You guys know all that kind of good stuff. So I've got a guy with me right now that you know him from the motherfucking time. He is a part of that Minneapolis sound. It's a guy that I've known for a long time. And the first time I've ever been able to interview him, ladies and gentlemen, the drummer for the motherfucking time, JellyBean Johnson. Welcome.
How y'all doing? How you doing, Kelly? What's up, baby?
Dude, it's great to hear your voice. Last time I saw you, a lot of people aren't going to believe this, but every time Jelly comes to town, I hit him up, and hopefully we can get together and have a drink. And the last time it happened, and believe it or not, it was at the Whiskey A Go-Go at an L.A. Guns concert.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember that. That was a lot of fun, bro.
Dude, that was
I
fucking
love me
great.
some L.A. Guns, man. Tracy Guns, man. Tracy Guns. Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's awesome. So how are you doing, man? Obviously, you're trying to keep busy. How's it going up in good old Minnesota?
Well, we got snow and all that shit. It's the struggle's real. We just opened back up. We were closed, man, since November, and we just opened back up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's only till 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
So it's hard, man. All my national gigs been gone for almost a year now. And March, next month, they all will be gone a year. And then my local gigs were kind of dried up too for a minute,
Yeah,
but I'm back playing. At least I can play the guitar. I'm good.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I thought it was hilarious. Like, yeah, you guys can do outdoor dining. It's like, Mr. Walls, it's the beginning of January.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's gonna sit outside and eat hot wings.
Hey, Minnesota? Hell no.
Yeah, right. Jelly, it's funny because I've known you for a long time, but I've never dove into these questions. I've never asked you about your history. It's like, yeah, of course I know you from the time and seeing you at the combo and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of how we met.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did it all start for you? What was the first stuff that you heard that made you go, God damn it, I really got to do this?
Well, it started, man. My mom moved me here from Chicago, man, in 1968 to keep me out of the gangs. The gangs were recruiting me, and my mother just was not having it, man. So she moved me here in 1968, man, and it just kind of basically changed my life. It was kind of culture shock for me because I came from a completely urban area in Chicago, and when I got here, it was like culture shock, because a prime example is radio black radio was 24/7 in Chicago. When I got here, it was only 4 hours a day, 1 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So.
Right. Right.
So that changed my life drastically. Just that alone, being a little shorty that listened to black, music all day, 24/7. To now I had to listen to white radio stations. But it changed. It changed me musically. It made me listen and appreciate Rare Earth and Grand Funk Railroad and Black Sabbath and Bob Dylan, all these iconic white rockers and stuff. And so that's how I started, man. And she finally, from the ages from 11 to 12, she would buy me these drum sets, man, because she got tired of me beating on her pots and pans and coffee table and shit.
Right.
She would buy me these drum sets, but the only problem is that they'd be tore up Christmas night, because they were made of paper. They wasn't really, they was just little toy-ass drum sets. So when I turned 13, man, right here when I moved to Minnesota, she bought me a drum set I couldn't tear up, bought me one with real heads on it and stuff. And that started it, I finally got a drum set, and it started, I started learning how to play, teaching myself how to play. And she saw that, I was serious about it, so she got me these lessons, she said, well, you seem like you're serious about it. I'm going to get you these lessons. But the only problem about lessons, bro, is, as a little shorty, and you go to school 5 days a week, man, and you go there, you got to be there at 8 o'clock, 8 to 3 or whatever and shit, 5 days a week. Well, then when Saturday comes, the last thing you want to do, man, is go to a damn drum lesson or whatever kind of lesson at 8 a.m., bro.
Yeah, right. Did you get in trouble in school for banging on the tables and shit while during class?
I sometimes, but my teachers were pretty cool about it and stuff.
Right, right.
You see, I wasn't the only badass kid in the class, so I was just one of many. So that's. But anyway, so after like 6 months and stuff, and of me going to these lessons, and then trust me too, my mom had to take me, so she wasn't too happy about that either, getting up that damn early. Mm-hmm. But the teacher wasn't really teaching me what I wanted, man. I wanted to learn James Brown and Sly and the Family Stone, all that kind of stuff, and he was trying to teach me Jerry Lee Lewis and all this rock crap. So I was like, Ma, So she said, okay, fine, baby. You can go back to listening to the radio, listen to the records, and learn how to play. So I just taught myself. That's how my.
And did you teach yourself guitar too?
I taught myself guitar too, man. There's this little story about that too. When I, during this time around when I'm about 14, 15, I had a cousin, man, that was living with us. He had some problems or something, so he came to live with me and my mom, stepfather, and my brothers. And he had a guitar, right? And he was playing the guitar and everything, and he wasn't that serious about it, right? So anyway, after about a month or so, he went back home, but he left the guitar at my house. So I started teaching myself how to play the guitar. And after about a year, I got good at it, at least decent, at least I kind of knew what the hell I was doing. So once again, the one problem with that is he came to our house, again, and saw that I got good at it. So he took it.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
So, my mom, once again, she stepped up and saw that I had gotten decent at it. I got good at it, so she bought me a guitar, and so I started teaching myself how to play that, too. So,
what was the...
around 14... Huh?
So, 14, 15, what year was that?
It had to be 70.
Okay.
1970, 71. Yeah.
All right. So, what was the first guitar?
Wow, I want to say the first one she bought me was a Sears and Roebuck Tesco Del Rey kind of thing.
Right.
Had like 4 pickups in it and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it you probably,
Oh, yeah.
Had one of them. And, and it's funny too, man, because I remember seeing Prince, man, back when we were like that age, like 14, 15, man. He had one of them Sears Silvertone guitars. You remember Sears used to sell musical instruments?
Yeah, and actually, those were actually pretty fucking high quality, good guitars then,
They sounded good as hell. Man, I bet they sound good today, and they probably cost a bunch of money if you could find one.
They do.
But anyway, I never forget seeing Prince, man, when but like 13 years old, man, with a big ass afro, and he had one of them Silvertone guitars, man, with a little fuzz box sticking inside. This particular fuzz box, they it was electro harmonics, and you stuck it actually inside the guitar.
Jesus,
man, he sounds just like Santana. I was like, oh my God. I was like, who is this little short? Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll get into that stuff in a second here. I just don't want to go back to the guitar. Now, you're one of these fuckers that pisses me off because I can barely play fucking A chords with a pick. You're a no pick using guy, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you the story about that too, man. As I started when I was teaching myself, I had a pick, but I got tired of it flying in hell across the room every time. I got tired of that shit, man. So I figured my thumb was attached to me. Yeah. So I started teaching myself how to play with my fingers, man, and it worked out. Everybody freaks out now when they see me play with my fingers like that, but when I think about it in hindsight now, there's a lot of world famous guitar players that play without picks. I mean, I was just watching Jeff Beck on YouTube last night, and he uses his thumb like me, his thumb and his whammy bar, and you swear to God he was using the pick. I was like, how the hell does he do that? He's an alien, man. I know.
Yeah. I know. It's like, dude, I watch Richie Kotzen. He's one of my gods. And
yeah,
he's
Richie's another one. He is scary, man. I was like, and another dude with his thumb. I say, so maybe I'm not so, maybe I did catch on to something.
Right? Yeah. Oh, then he can sing like a motherfucker on top of it, too, which
Richie
pisses me off even more, man. Did you know Prince at that time? I mean, did you just see him out? I mean, I'm kind of curious how this whole, just bear with me for 1 second.
I met him, man. I want to say through junior, because, I went to junior high school at a school here called Lincoln Junior High, and the elementary school that he went to was right next door.
Okay.
John Hay. It was called John Hay or whatever and shit. So I want to say I met him like that, and we both had an interest in music. And I remember playing basketball with him on his driveway, man, at his dad's house. Years we had to be like, 14 and 12 or 13 and 15 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We had this common interest in music, so that's how we.
Well, I mean, the thing that kind of sparked this. Obviously, everybody wants to ask you about that kind of stuff. But back when I was working at Guitar Center Edina, G Sharp, Greg would come in, and he would show that picture of everybody when you guys were kids, and it was like the whole fucking crew. And I'm just like, okay, was it just a common interest between all of you? Was it just because you were black kids? I mean, how did it all come together?
Izzy, that's still to this day. I'm 64 years old now. I don't know. I think it was a blessing that it came out that way, that I landed in a community that so many kids, my peers were my age, were into music, music and sports. That was our thing, man, and music and basketball and all that stuff. And all these cats were into that. So we had all these common interests, man, and it just worked out.
How did... I mean, because obviously Prince, when he went and did his thing, but you've got all this talent in this group of this picture I saw. How did it all get split up into, okay, this is going to end up being the time, okay, and okay, this is going to be Prince's crew.
Well, we didn't know. It started out, we were all in rival bands, Prince and Morris came later.
Okay.
Was in Grand Central. I was in Flight Time with Terry Lewis and David Island, and and later on Jimmy Jam came in that later. And Cynthia Johnson from Funky Town fame, and all these people, man. And we had rival bands. If you can imagine that, Izzy, at 15 years old, 16 years old, we had these badass bands, and we were like teenagers.
Yeah.
That could play.
Yeah.
It was kind of. It's amazing that the stars aligned like that, but it did. And we were black, and we couldn't play the right clubs and stuff, so we play all the little sororities and black functions and stuff like that, and that's how we got good, man. And we would practice all the time. We'd go home, we'd come home from school, man, and if we didn't have basketball practice or football practice, whatever, and then we would, by 6 o'clock, we were all in our respective basements with whatever basement we were rehearsing at, and we was playing music and learning the top funk tunes of the day. That's what we were doing.
You're a bigger dude. Was there any thought about trying to follow the athletic dreams?
I tried it, but I just wasn't quite good enough, Izzy.
Okay.
I started for my basketball team and all that, and it's funny too, because my coach at the time, he said it to me, even, I was 16, 17, say if you just had just a slight more, if you were just a slight more better, you'd be a star, you know?
Right.
You know, and he could see it, you know, and he knew I had it. You know, it's just like I was good enough to start, but I wasn't good enough to be, you know, that next, make bunch of money. And then I had this infinite love for music too. So, you know, so I embraced that. I did the athletic thing as long as I could, and I just embraced music all the time.
Bruce checking in from Canada. Got to play my Canada noise for him.
Take off, you hoser!
Bruce says, wow, playing at 15, I can't get my 16-year-old off the PlayStation for 15 minutes. Well, that's, look, it's a sign of the times.
I feel his pain, you know, because my teenagers, I get on them all the time. We've spoiled them because now with all this computer shit and social media, kids don't. Izzy, when I was 14, 15, I was playing my instrument all the damn time. Those two instruments that was my playtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and kids now, there's too many distractions with the social media and anytime you can make a record at your house, you know, what the hell? You know?
Right. Well, I mean, Eddie Trunk has a great point about that. He's like, yeah, we have the technology where anybody can make a record, but it's sad, but it's unfortunate that we have the technology that anybody can make a record. That's
the hope. And he's absolutely right.
Right.
Absolutely right.
First half of the show brought to you by Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's, beateramplification.com. These bad boys are out of Mankato, Jelly. Hand-built, hand-wired, 100 watts of testicular fortitude. Pull 2 tubes, you got yourself 53 channels. You got your old-school Kiss, Hendrix tones, you got your old school AC/DC tones, and that clean-ass Fender tone. Jelly, these things are so fucking great, man. I run straight in. I don't need any effects on it. Well, I'm not a solo guy either.
Yeah, that's when you know they're good.
Yeah, dude, these things are so badass.
You ain't got to put no gas on them and shit.
Right,
you know?
exactly. These things are so good. With my Cots and Telly, my Les Pauls, my V, everything sounds fucking amazing through this thing. That's Beater Amplification. Hit them up on the Facebook, and the website is beateramplification.com. That's 2 E's. And our good friends over at Mackie. You want to get into home recording, you want to get into podcasting, it's very, very easy. Go to Mackie.com, Mackie, and look up the studio bundles. Shit, you can get into podcasting for less than $300. They sell you everything you need in one little package. It is great. Mackie.com. So the Minneapolis sound. Everybody contributes that to Prince. But I have a feeling it was more than that because, I mean, you got Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. You got you guys. You got everybody, in that whole community. Was it a combination of all of you, or what? Where did it come from? Everybody asks me about that, and that's always my stock answer. I say it started with Prince. Okay.
It started with him, and we just took our cue from him. We learned from him. Now, granted, and there's a lot of prominent white musicians that were here that had great bands back, and then Bob Dylan's from here.
Oh yeah.
Had Semisonic, we had Suburbs, all the Replacements, all that. We had that side, but we were the funky side.
Right.
So it started with him, and it started in 1978 when he did his first record. And I'm gonna tell you this too, man. It goes back to us being kids again. I didn't know Prince had it like that, bro.
Really?
I knew he was a great guitar player, and I knew he could play the keyboards really well. I didn't know about the bass and the drums and him sounding like a one-man damn band. So can you imagine how floored I was in 1978 when For You comes out and Soft and Wet, and I'm thinking it's a damn band.
Right.
And it's him by himself.
So he recorded everything. Everything on that record.
Yeah, he did everything. He did every damn thing. So, that definitely rubbed off on a lot of us, man. And that's when you have so many musicians here that play multiple instruments because they saw him. They saw, the effect that he had, and he sounded like one day. I mean, singing. I mean, he virtually could do everything, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that when we was 12, 13, 14 years old, cutting heads against each other. I didn't know that shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that dude, not to go back to Kotzen, but that's Kotzen too. Kotzen records everything himself. It's just, it pisses me off even more.
Yeah. No, and Izzy, and to be, proficient at every instrument.
Yeah.
You know, I've been lucky enough just to do the little shit I know on the drums and the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I did have it like that on keyboards and bass and all that shit. I wish I had to put in the time on all those. You know?
Oh, dude, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, yeah, I can play bass if I have to. It's always the joke. Oh, you play the bass. You couldn't figure out how to run the lights. But you know,
well, I was teaching myself how to play bass, and damn Terry Lewis, the legendary Terry Lewis, borrowed my bass. He was teaching these kids. He was teaching bass lessons. I had bought one from Pawn Shop, and he borrowed it, and never gave it back. And I never hemmed his ass up to get it back. So I kick myself every day for that, because I would love to be proficient on the bass too, because then I could be, you know, pretty much, you know, I could at least be a power trio at that point. You know?
Oh, hell yeah. So how did the time start then?
The time started, man. Well, first of all, you know, originally, Izzy, and I know this is out there in the universe, I wasn't supposed to be in the time, man, because, you know, me and Morris were drummers coming up. You know, we used to, at 12 years old, we used to play our drum sets in his mom's living room side by side.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Yeah. So, you know, he, you know, we grew up, you know, having this love for the drums. So we were drummers and shit. So anyway, you know, him and Prince got tight and stuff, and he was living with Prince. And then Prince had taken him out on the road, and he was filming him. So anyway, they came back, and, you know, Morris was living with him at this time and stuff, staying with him. And they would just play music all the damn time, you know. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Morris came up with this little groove. He can barely play keyboards, but he came up with a groove that Prince liked called Party Up.
Okay.
And Prince told him, say, well, dude, I can either give you money for the tune or I can help you get a band. And Morris chose the band. Now, the only problem with that, Izzy, is that I'm a drummer too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and him are like best friends, but I'm a drummer too. So anyway, he chose the band. So Prince knew about Flight Time because, you know, we had been rival bands, you know, against each other. Mm-hmm. So he told him, you know, he set up a meeting. By this time, you know, Flight Time had Bob, you know, Alexander O'Neill's our lead singer. You know, we had, you know, Jimmy Jam had joined the band by then and stuff. And we were just, you know, doing the little chitlin circuit around here and stuff with black clubs that we could play or whatever, black functions that we could play. So anyway, so Prince had him set up a meeting. Prince and Morris set up a meeting with the remaining members of the time. And I mean, Morris felt bad that, you know, because he was going to be the drummer. Alexander O'Neill was going to be the singer.
Okay.
And I wasn't, you know, so he felt bad, but he said, being, you know, he had a cousin at the time that had a hit record, and he was going, well, Bean, I can help you get it. But anyway, that's, you know, nonetheless. So anyway, they went and had the meeting, and of course, it's out there. The famous meeting is, you know, Alexander O'Neill and Prince were like oil and water. It didn't work out.
Okay.
Yeah. So he went after the meeting. Prince got up and walked out of the meeting, and he called Morris and told him, he said, you know what? You know, go get JellyBean, and we put JellyBean in the band, and you're going to sing. And Morris like, well, dude, I don't want to sing. He said, yeah, I'll teach you. Yes, you will.
Oh,
you
wow.
know? And so, you know, yeah, so that's how I ended up being the drummer and stuff.
Wow, it's wild that Prince had that ear where he heard.
Yeah, he had an exceptional ear, bro. Even at a young age, he could hear. And he always admired you know, our band Flight Time from afar. You know,
right.
Another big part of the Minneapolis sound was, you know, when he used to watch us when we were Flight Time, we had like 4 or 5 horns when Cynthia Johnson played.
Uh-huh.
And he always admired that we had a horn section. So he went, that's when you hear all that shit, all those horn lines on keyboards. That's what he did.
Wow.
He started doing, you know, all them songs. That's where he got, I bet my life on that. That's where he got a lot of that from, the horn lines, because he would play them on keyboards because they didn't have, his band, Grand Central didn't have a horn section.
Okay.
You know, so he learned how to play all those horn lines and stuff on keyboards, and that it was a sound in itself, you know.
Well, dude, it's funny that you say that. It's because so much, especially in the 70s, that everybody was creating everything. You know, it was like, you know, the Boston, that Boston record, he created all of that in his basement. I don't know if
and dude, you know, it's funny that you bring up Tom Schultz, man, because you remember that little Rockman thing?
Yeah.
Man, most of my solos in those early 80s on them records, man, that I did was through one of them damn Rockmans.
Jesus Christ.
And then people thought, damn, that sounds like Bean. That sounds like a no. It was the Rockman through the soundboard.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Sometime I would attach, I'd attach a little Boss heavy metal pedal to it or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it would sound bigger than life, man. I was totally fucking impressed, man. When I heard that, I was like, how can this little Walkman looking thing sound like this? And right? I guarantee you go back and listen to a lot of those 80 records and shit, you know, there's a lot of guitar solos done. Sure. Nothing beats the Marshalls in the studio. I've done that too with the Marshall cranked up and in the room, all that. But no, that Rockman shit, man. Oh my God.
That's funny. Well, so wait a minute. So you were the drummer in the time, but you were playing guitar on the records?
I was playing when I started doing production for when I started doing productions on my own productions. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. No, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. But the time had the greatest fucking gimmick of them all with Jerome and the mirror. Do you remember was that for the movie or was that going on before Purple Rain? Kind of tell me that story.
That was going on before Purple Rain, man. You remember, when Prince immediately after he decided who the band's gonna be. Prince put us to boot camp. 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, bro.
Oh, Jesus! Wow.
So that's where all of that started. We used to rehearse a little club over here in Minneapolis called Yasm.
Okay.
And we used to rehearse there every day. Like I said, about 8-9 hours, whatever. And Prince Sass would be in there putting us through the ropes and stuff. So anyway, and this is on our little cartoon tales of the whatever.
I saw that. Yeah.
But that's actually happened. We were rehearsing one day, and Prince was there watching us, and we was going through our little sneak. And Morse, and the sticker said somebody bring me a mirror. And Jerome's ass, he was like doing this time. He was just like a little helper. He's Terry Lewis's brother anyway, so he's always set the drums. And yeah, so he's a little shorty. So he said that, and Jerome got up one day, man, and this little club that we were in and stuff, it was a mirror on the wall. He snatched the mirror off the wall and ran up in front of us and put that in front of Morris. Prince lost his damn mind. You got to use that, man. Got to use it.
Oh, God, it's just fucking brilliant.
And that's how that happened, bro. That's how, that Drone was becoming famous, didn't even know it, because like I said, he was just, he was our valet, our roadie, and all that. So
Oh my God, it's so funny because it's so iconic. I host this. I'm lucky enough to host this jam in Hollywood when we're actually able to be adults and be in public. And one of the songs they did one time was I think it was Jungle Love. And I pulled the fucking mirror off the wall in the back in the green room, went out on stage, and I was fucking doing the whole thing. I mean, it's just iconic. Yeah,
and people know. And the thing about it, is that people go nuts. They know exactly what you're doing when you do that.
So how long after Purple Rain did that wave last? How long before it started to fizzle?
Oh man. Well, because we all started going our separate ways.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's Morris started going solo. That's when he came up with, he started doing Oak Tree and all that shit. Right after Purple Rain, And so we, for like that between like 86 up to like 90, it kind of calmed down then. Because, Purple Rain was gone then. Instead, we all was doing solo shit. I was producing then.
Yeah. Yeah,
The time wasn't around, because Morris was on his solo shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it kind of tapered off. And
I did want to dive into the producing stuff too a little bit. I mean, Black Cat. Yeah. How did it was Vernon Reid that played guitar on Black Cat, correct?
No. See, that's the thing.
I thought it was Vernon Reid. That's like everybody says.
No, I'm going to explain it to you, bro. Okay, that's the thing. First of all, let me just set it up by some of the most famous guitar players in the world have played on remixes for Black Cat.
Okay.
That is crazy as hell, and I'll name you some of the cats here.
Please
and
do.
You won't fucking believe. Yeah, well, for one, okay, so the original one is a cat here named Dave Berry.
Okay.
When I did the original, he was playing a band out here on the strip on Eddie Webster's, man. And so anyway, Janet approached me, man. That riff on Black Cat, she brought me a cassette with that riff of Black Cat on a cassette with her, with somebody, I don't even think it was her, playing that riff on a piano.
Holy shit.
A piano. Yeah.
Dun,
And me, and yeah, that was on a fucking piano. So she brings it to me, right? And I hear that. Now, granted, by this time, I'm into the heavy metal shit. I'm in the heavy metal scene big time, even though I'm black, funk, cat. I'm loving Van Halen. I'm loving Rat, Dokken, all these different, iconic Black Sabbath, all these bands. I grew up on that shit.
Yeah.
So I told her, I thought by this time we had, we're into her second record. We were in the Rhythm Nation by now. We had done Control. I had played, a heavy solo on her Control album on one of her songs. But anyway, so I sat there and I looked at her. I said, Jan, I said, your brother, I said, Michael has Beat It and Dirty Dying. I said, it would be really cool, if we did something, if you had your own. She said, well, yeah, Bean, and now granted, Izzy, Rhythm Nation, the whole album is done.
Right.
Now, she didn't approach Terry and Jimmy about it, and they just give it to Bean. They just blew it off because they didn't think it was nothing of it.
Right.
So she gives this to me, so I started recruiting. I got Dave Barry, I programmed drum machine in there and shit, and just, and I was like, I brought it to the store. I rented a Marshall.
Of course you did.
I played, I had David play, and granted too, I didn't even play, Jesse Johnson to this day, Jesse Johnson doing it cussed me out because I didn't play the solo, but I was like, I was in total producer mode, man. I wanted this shit to sound as close to what was going on in the heavy rock scene, the heavy metal scene during that time. So I knew to do that, I had to get cats that would do that. So David was into that shit. He's a world-class guitar player. He ended up being her guitar player for like over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, yeah. So we went into the Marshall. I had him play one pass through a Rockman, through a Tom Show Rockman.
Of course you did.
And then we came back and doubled it with a fucking Marshall, man.
Uh-huh.
And then the solo came, and I thought about it for 2 seconds, and I said, no, David, you deserve it, because, he had laid that shit out. It was sounding heavy as hell.
Right.
I said, you go ahead, you hit the solo, man. So he hit the solo and shit, man, and it came out. I called Jen. I said, I think I got something. She came to the studio. We kicked everybody out of Flight Time. We kicked them out, because how loud is you loud guitars.
Yes, yes.
Loud guitars will chase the mug out of space, man.
Oh, I know. 100 watts of testicular fortitude, my friend.
Yep. So we kicked everybody out, and she wrote the lyrics, and me and her sat there, and through the night we got the lyrics down, and Terry and Jimmy came in the next day and were damn blown away. They couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, that's what we got. So anyway, the reason there's so many famous guitar players on there, and when it came out, all the heavy metal cats lost their damn mind. Really.
Right.
Things like Motley Crue, all of them were like, Janet Jackson's doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So A&M had a bunch of remixes. Remixes were big back in the day.
Yes.
And shit.
Yeah.
So Bernie Reed did a pass. Jesse Johnson did a pass. When I did the video, if you go on the MTV video, I got Nuno Betancourt from Extreme.
Nuno, yeah.
Nuno's ass, yeah. He redid all the rhythms and shit, for the TV version that you hear.
Yeah.
It is crazy,
Holy
man. So that's why you hear all these different versions. I did one with Jesse. Me and Jesse is fucking up a dance one. So when you hear all these different versions, yeah. Dude, and I remember the one from Vernon. He just one of many famous guys. I'm probably leaving a couple other guys that took passes at it too.
Dude, I remember when that came out, I was like, dude, this fucking rocks. And Janet, I mean, the vocal performance on that is just fucking, I told her, hard as fuck.
Izzy, I told her, I said, baby, I want you to sound like a rock and roll queen. I told her that, I told her, and like I said, we kicked my fiance at the time out. We kicked her boyfriend out. We kicked everybody out. Terry Jimmy's ass wasn't around. Because, black people have a problem with loud guitars. I've been through that bullshit. So we kicked everybody out, and that's what we got.
Just really quick, I mean, you mentioned Van Halen. Did you ever have a chance to meet Eddie or anybody in that crew?
I never did, and I always loved them, man. I always fucking loved them. And matter of fact, Jerome and Morris went on an award show one time, and told me they had met him and say he was raving about the time and stuff, man.
Oh,
and we came close one time, man, when they you know, they went on tour one year, you know, in the later years, I think 08 or something like that, and they had Kool and the Gang, you know, open for them, man.
Yeah, Target
and
Center.
I was like, fuck, man. I said the Time could have opened for them, man.
Oh God, that would have ruled.
If they got Kool and the Gang, could you imagine us and them? That shit would have been. David Lee Roth, man. David Lee Roth. I love Dave, man, too, man. I love Sammy too, but I love Dave especially, man, because he acts like us. So
well, do you know why they had bands like Kool and the Gang opening for them? It was an ego thing, so they didn't get outsold in T-shirts and shit like that. That was an ego.
Kidding me?
No, it wasn't like these guys suck thing. It's just like it was just an ego thing. They don't like getting outsold in T-shirts and just little shit like that.
Wow. Because Izzy, it freaked me. I said, Kool. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But then I thought about it. I said, well, maybe it did. And I heard it was great. They had a great fuck. Kool and the Gang loved it, man, because, you know, we done many shows with them. They loved that shit.
Oh, yeah, of course. And that's, like I said, I mean, it wasn't any slight on Kool and the Gang. It was just, hey, man, we just don't want to get outsold in T-shirts.
Two totally different genres. Yeah.
Exactly.
It made all the sense in the world when I thought about it. I was like, once again, man, goddamn, we should have been, you know, but that powers didn't be to let it happen. But that would have freaked. That would have been some shit. The Time and Van Halen.
Dude, that would have been fucking badass. Just a couple more questions before we go to break. We can come back and for the reason that you are here is your brand new record, JellyBean Johnson Get Experienced, which is out now, available through your website. We'll get to all that in a second here, but so what? How it was 18 years until the Time got back together, right?
Well, I won't say 18 years. I say more like, you know what? We stopped, you know, when Moore started doing this shit around 85, and then we about 9 years later, man, 94 or 95.
Okay.
We got the money. We put the Morris Day and the Time version back together. Because remember, originally it was the Time without original men. There was just the Time.
Okay.
But when he came back, we did Morris Day because, you know, by this time all of us had done shit. Morris had his solo career and everything. And then Prince was tripping too. He didn't want us half the time. We couldn't use the name The Time because he was tripping.
Oh, God.
You know, so,
of course.
Yeah, so we went through that. So it was either he was tripping about us using Time, and I think that's basically because he had problems with Terry and Jimmy. And Morris to an extent too.
Gotcha.
So he would always. He was cool for a few years, and then the more and more, the darker he got in his life, the more and more he started causing more problems.
Yeah.
But he always let Morris. He never challenged Morris about the Morris Day and the Time version. So that's why you had that.
Okay. Yeah, and then you guys ended up in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
But we did Jay and Silent Bob, all that shit, man.
Before we get to that, I just have this one Prince question because this is about you. But obviously, you know, these questions are going to come out. Did you see that Kevin Smith story about how he got how he got permission to use the Time in the film?
I heard about it. I know for a fact that Kevin is a big fan. You know, we did a couple things when that movie came out and stuff, and he always showed us a lot of love and stuff. But I had heard about this story, but I haven't heard it totally about what happened and stuff. But nothing with Prince surprised me, bro. I've been through it. You have no idea. I've been through with that dude.
Right? Yeah. I'll find it on YouTube. I'll send you that whole thing because basically.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that
because it is like, wow, this guy's nuts.
Yeah, he's crazy. He wasn't no day. He made me famous, but he wasn't no day at the beach.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, the story that Kevin Smith told is it's like, well, we wanted to use Most Beautiful Girl in the World because it was going to be in that scene that ended up having Bad Medicine in it.
Okay.
Yeah, when Jay's like putting the fucking cup over his boner and all that kind of stuff when he first that's where that was supposed to be. And then Prince is like, I just don't think it would fit with your crowd because, you know, you make dick and fart joke movies and blah 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 blah. But you can use the Time. You know, that was basically how that happened. What do you remember? What do you remember about filming that movie? Filming that scene?
It was so much, you know, I've been in so many Hollywood scenes and we've done the Grammys a handful of times and shit.
Yeah.
I just remember it was just one of them days that was long and shit. We did a bunch of takes of it. But it was fun, because Kevin and whatever that other dude, I forgot the other dude's name. He's funny as hell too, man. But they loved us, man. They loved us. So, so they were showing us a lot of love. And I remember being in the trailers and going back and forth and all that shit. So it was a great time, bro. It was.
That's awesome.
And
That's
then,
awesome.
and then I'm going to say this too. That reinvented us with the kids.
Yeah.
Because all the younger generation then started loving us because of Jay and Silent Bob.
Right.
So it was kind of a reboot for the more standard time, because all the kids were into us now.
Yeah, it's funny how the nostalgia factor works. It's what's old is now cool again. All right, so let's do this. JellyBean Johnson on the blower with me. We are going to take a short 2-minute and 30-second break. So if you have to go throw a whiz jelly, now is the time to do it. And we'll be right back, and we'll be talking his brand new record, Get Experience. It is another fucking podcast.
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to vinnytortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at vinnytortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that band shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, halter tops, lace-up tees, and tube-top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsrocks.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for special offers and custom orders. Use the code IZZY25 for 25% off of your entire order at sasspantsrocks.com. That's sasspantsrocks.com. Let Sass Pants make you the envy of the party.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level. With their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World Tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Hey, what's happening? This is Tracy Morgan. I'm a black dude. You listen to one of my favorite white people. It's Izzy Presley on another effing podcast. It's Izzy Presley on another fucking podcast. I just spoke with a lisp. That's crazy.
God, I love fucking Craig Gass.
I love him too, bro.
Oh my God. Second half of the show brought to you by A&P Laser. Yes, Central Minnesota is Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple weeks. You want to get something special for your lovey, your little lovey-dovey? Hit up our good buddy at aplaser.com. Man, these guys are so good they can even laser engrave a hot dog bun. I have seen it done. Hit up Oz over at aplaser.com. And while you're at it, get yourself another fucking podcast Roadie pack, which will give you a big coffee tumbler, which doubles as an alcohol tumbler as well. There's a flask, there's a Zippo type lighter, and I think there's a dog tag, all with the new retro logo on it that you've seen on the jersey tees that are available for only $20. If you hit me up for those as well. And our good friend John Palumbo. Yes, if you have a band, you have a business, you need a website, you need a logo, hit up our good friend John Palumbo at johnpalumbodesign.com. And if you get on the blower with him, just call him by his full name, John Palumbo. All right, so we are back with JellyBean Johnson. The album is available now. It is called Get Experienced, and this is really an all-star fucking lineup, even featuring our good friend Tracy Blake. I love me some Tracy Blake.
Yeah. That's a bad man.
Oh my God. I fucking love Tracy. He's so
He's bad
good.
man. And Tracy's one of the most gifted musicians walking this earth, and people don't know, man. He's doing a country project right now too. You know, we all know him from the funk and the rock and
Yeah.
for go years. But he has a new country project called One for Willie that y'all should stay tuned, watch out for. It's off the chain, dude.
I'm actually going down the country road too as well, believe it or not.
Yeah, oh man, I mean Tracy has that. Tracy just what he has in his wheelhouse, man, is ridiculous, man. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. So yeah.
So when you decided to do this album, was there first of all, when did you start writing? Or were you writing alone? Were you collaborating?
I was collaborating, man, because the first song on there, Put Some Jelly on It, man, is with Ronnie Baker Brooks. Now, people don't realize Ronnie Baker Brooks come from Blues Roadie. His dad was Lonnie Brooks. Lonnie was a famous blues guitarist he had a hit song back in the 50s called The Crawl when he was named Guitar Junior, and then he moved to Chicago, and chased his name to Lonnie Brooks and embraced the Chicago blues scene. And so anyway, later years and stuff, I ended up becoming great friends with the family because I did Ronnie's first 3 albums. Ronnie was his guitar player as his son. He was his guitar player for 13 years. And he was supposed to, all of a sudden, he's one of them guitar hotshots. Remember when Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Johnny Lang, all them was coming out? Well, Ronnie was around their ages. And one of the famous producers, his name, I think it was Jim Gaines or somebody was supposed to do him. Jim Gaines was doing all the young hotshots then. And anyway, something came up and Jim couldn't do his project. So Ronnie was devastated. But he was friends with me. He said, well, Bean, he said, would you be interested in doing my record? I said, hell, why not,
Yeah.
Because I was still working for Flight Time, I was still producing and stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah, why not? So I ended up doing his first 3 records, and they all Chicago blues and Hendrixy kind of stuff on them.
Yeah.
So anyway, when I started about 2 years ago, now meantime, a bunch of, a few of my friends have said, always said, Bean, you should do a record. Even Terry Lewis had told me back in the day, you could do a record, do like a Quincy Jones type thing and just have different people. Because, Izzy, I can't sing. If I could sing, I'd be,
Oh, Jelly.
I can tell people what to sing, but I cannot sing, bro. So, God only gives you so many talents. So,
yeah,
anyway,
I'm sure you're a lot better than you give yourself credit.
So anyway, he came and, Ronnie said, man, you know what, man? I got this song, man, I put together, I had you in mind. I said, well, what is it, bro? Let me check it out, and this was like a couple years ago. And it was Put Some Jelly on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called up all my, musician friends, Michael Bland, Tracy Blake, all the cats, Chance Howard, all these bad cats, man. And then, so we cut the basics here in Minnesota, and then I sent it back to Chicago with Ronnie, and Ronnie got Tom Washington, who lives in Chicago. Anybody know Tom Washington's from Earth, Wind, and Fire fame?
Oh, okay.
Horn arranger. He did all the horns and stuff back in the day. Man.
Okay.
And he's there in Chicago, and he's he put like 6 horns on that mug.
Yeah, right.
So that's what got, that's the very first song on the record, man. That's what got me going. And so we just went from there. And then me and Tracy used to play hard rock. Izzy, you would love this too here in Minnesota. Tracy used to have a hard rock band called the Tracy Blake Project.
Yes, that's how I got to know him.
Oh, yeah. I used to go out and watch them play, man. They played like AC/DC and all this heavy, Black Crow, all that rock shit, man. Tracy's well-versed in that. I used to come out and sit in and jam with them, man.
It's funny you say that. Hold on, before you move forward, I went up and did the Foo Fighters version of Darling Nikki with them once.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't
we
good
just did that
because of me.
Oh, my God. Yeah, come on. We were just on the original time just played with the Foo Fighters on one of these tribute shows, man.
Badass.
At the Grammys, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Prince tribute, right?
Yeah, the Prince tribute, yeah.
There you go.
Sure did. And Dave Grohl is cool as hell, too, man. He's always shown me a lot of love when he met him.
Have you had his barbecue yet, though?
I haven't had his barbecue, man. But
holy shit. Dude,
I'm
sorry, we'll get back to the record in a second. So, like, a couple years ago at NAMM, when they do Dime Bash, he was out there 13 hours beforehand firing that barbecue up in the back lot. And
you're kidding me.
Oh, no, dude, it's a full-blown, real fucking barbecue, and it was for all the VIPs and the artists and all that shit.
Wow.
And it was so good.
And I'm not surprised with him. He is cool as hell, man. He is such a cool dude, man. And he's a fan, too. That's what killed me. He's a total fan of this Minneapolis shit, man.
That's fucking amazing. He was
just showing me so much love, man. Yeah.
That's so amazing. So, yeah, because so you decided to, call in the Outside Riders. You got put some jelly on it, and that, because I remember you gave me that.
Put some jelly on it, and then we got so much talent. The last 2 years here, I've been doing my little own shows here, man, like for the Super Bowl and for my birthday and all that. And all these great young artists, man, would come. And on my record, I use some of them. There's one on there called by a group called Illism, and it's his wife, husband and wife team, Fancy and Envy. So that's on there. My record is a song called Energy.
Okay.
Tamar was in Prince's band for years. Remember when he had the twins and Dancer?
Sure.
Remember? Did you ever see this? No, you don't remember. Did you ever see his performance at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay, well, Tamar was part of that. But anyway, Tamar is an amazing artist, man. And I got 2 songs with her on there. Then I had this kid out at New York, man, that always idolized the time, man. And every time we go to New York and play the different clubs, we played damn near everywhere in New York. But he would always be there watching us. His name is Law.
Okay.
L-A-W. So we got him, and I did a song with him on there with Tony Mosley from MPG. And it's my album's kind of all over the place. Chance Howard, that's my homie. He was in Prince's band when he did musicology and all that, and he was in the Time for 10 years too.
Okay.
So my album's kind of all over the place, but Izzy, that's who I am.
Yeah, dude, but you know what, man? It's all about it's your first solo album, and it's showing who you really are.
It's showing who I really are, and it's not. You're not gonna find nothing on there sounding like the Time, and that was purposely done,
Yeah,
I did that on purpose. I wanted this sound. This is me,
Yeah,
me. I like the blues. I like heavy guitar. I like soul. I like soul shit, and that's what's on my record, man.
Yeah. So you have Michael Bland playing on almost everything. Did you
use Bland, man?
Did you ever think
that's the best drummer here?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
I said,
Michael's the best drummer here in Minnesota, man. And even though I'm supposed to be a good drummer and shit, every time I would do a record, like Ronnie would tell you this, I had him and Sonny Thompson all over Ronnie's record and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that I heard Prince say publicly he was the best drummer he ever had.
Wow.
So I know that. And Prince has had some badass drummers.
Oh, yeah.
But he always, a lot of that stuff that you heard coming out of Paisley, if there were real drums, it was Michael Bland.
Okay.
I know that for a fact. Yeah.
I know he's a fucking badass monster.
He's a beast.
Player,
He's a beast, man.
Chris, because I used to go down to the combo every once in a while. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You go down the combo, you walk in the door, you hear that big beat, oh, that's Michael.
Yeah. Speaking of bunkers, Tiffany said your favorite bartender says hi.
Oh, tell her hey. Tell her. I miss her.
I used to. I worked with her up at the press in St. Cloud. That's how I know Tiff.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. She is such a sweetheart, man. I miss her, man. Bunkers still ain't open yet, bro. So to show you how situation we in around here.
What is going?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Is the combo still a thing?
It's
obviously not right now, but.
Not right now. From what I heard, I got some of the inner workers. I know a couple. I know Billy Franzi retired and stuff, but the guitar player that's in my band, JB and the Routine, is going to replace him. So
okay,
I know they're looking for whenever bunkers open back up, they're going to go back. But we'll have to see.
Yeah. So how long did
but like next month will be a year, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. It's just fuck. There's nothing we can do. There's just nothing we can do.
Nothing
it
we
sucks.
Can do. Nothing we can do, bro. You couldn't have made me believe. Izzy, you couldn't have made me believe this shit would happen like this.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God.
I know. So how long was the writing and recording process? I mean, when did you said a couple years ago?
It took close to 2 years. It did.
Okay.
I just taking my time. Izzy, I wasn't in no hurry. It wasn't like I was a major artist anyway, and this is all new territory for me. It's all a new journey. So I just wanted to take, before I'm in the fourth quarter of my life, before they put me in the ground, I just wanted to have something out here that was me and that represented what I was about musically. And that's all the JellyBean Get Experience about. That's all it is, man.
Yeah, man. I cannot wait to hear. If anybody wants to get in on this, I got some loyal fucking listeners that like to buy shit. So if you go to JellyBean-Johnson.com, everything is right there. Everything is right there. And that big smiling face that I can't see right now.
Izzy had to smile to keep from crying these days.
Exactly.
I've learned. I've learned.
Jelly, I just love that when I saw you at fucking at LA Guns, I yelled darkness and you lost your shit.
Oh. And see, people, that's the inside thing for us. See, people don't know. Me and you know what that means. That's G Sharp's ass and the cowboy. Yeah.
Yep.
That comes to Eddie. That comes to Eddie Murphy. It's from Ray, from his it's Charlie Murphy.
Charlie
God
Murphy.
bless him. But
yeah.
Charlie Murphy talking about Rick James, man. It was hilarious.
Darkness.
And G Sharp called me that for years, man.
Yep.
That's one of my many nicknames I have. But yeah, I love it.
Oh my God. Oh God. Songs with Tracy. Were those co-writes written and produced by Tracy Blake? Yeah. So
that's right. It written Tracy Blake and stuff. I'm co-producer on everything on there, but I just let these artists do their thing, man. I just let them do their thing. I more on the next record, maybe I'll do some more things. I kind of out of practice because I haven't done it as much as I did in my recent years and stuff. But that's the thing. They trust me, I trust them, and that's the thing. If I don't trust you, you're not going to be on my record.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. In
other words, don't bring me no bullshit. Expect me to record it now. Come on now,
dude.
Bring me the good shit. Don't bring me no bullshit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I would love to hear JellyBean Johnson, Doug Pinnick collaboration.
Oh man, I love him too, man. I've never met him. I always met him from afar.
Yeah.
I remember he saw me one time. I had a band back in '91, man. That I did a little personal show that day too. I had a band, under my name, and we did Over My Head.
Oh wow!
And he saw it, man. Yeah, he saw it, man. On wherever he saw it during that time, whatever media we had. And he messaged me and said, "Bean, wow." He couldn't believe we were playing one of his songs. Man, I fucking love King's X, bro.
Oh, so good.
I adore that. The three of them are ridiculous, man. Ty Tabor, man, is ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous, man. And the drummer got real sick for a while, but the three of them are just and Doug is just his solo records, man. One of his solo records right now, man. What is it called? Oh wow! I can't the one that really.
But which one? Man. There's so many. Doug is one. He's always putting material out, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just off the chain, man. Yeah. I know Steve Stevens is on this one. Steve Stevens and a couple other guys, but oh my God! I'm like, Doug is, and he has a funky side too.
Yeah,
as heavy as he can get, he can go to church and he's funky with that shit.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, he's another Chicago guy.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Chicago guy. He's
oh my God.
Yeah, that's Doug is from Chicago, so he came up on a lot of the same shit. He's only 5 years older than you, so you guys are in the same fucking wheelhouse.
Man, man. He did this record with him. It was him, Eric Gales, and Thomas Pritchard. Thomas Pritchard, man.
Yeah.
And man, they did a slow blues on there, man. It's still just my face just gets ugly. I was like, oh my, because Eric is 26. Eric is ridiculous too, man.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Well, I'll tell you,
my God.
I'll put you two in touch, man. You guys would love.
Okay,
each other.
do that.
Doug
do that. I
rules.
would love to tell because I always admire him, man.
People want to find you on social media. Where do they go?
I have a JellyBean Johnson page on Facebook. I also, if you want to meet, if you want to get to me personally on what you want me to respond, because my management does the other pages.
Gotcha.
Gary Johnson on Facebook with 2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours.
Just on Facebook.
Just like Gary Beers from NXS.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the one I'm on the most, man. I'm on Instagram, but my management runs that.
Okay.
I'm on some of the other things, but if you really want to hit me up personally, that's the one, Gary Johnson with 2 hours on Facebook, man. And that's the one I'm always posting shit on there. I'm always posting rock shit. I'm all over the place on there. I post shit to make you think, especially these days with all the racial unrest and all the craziness and all the divide and all that.
Yeah.
So it's just all the shit we uncomfortable about, I make you think because I'm old, So,
right. Well, you're old, so you've actually seen the worst of it.
I've been through that bullshit, I mean, and it's just sad, Izzy, that it's 2021. And I was around in the 60s. I saw that
Right,
shit, you know?
right.
So this is the last thing I want to be dealing with before I have to be, they put me in the ground, is dealing with the shit that we're dealing with.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
it's
Well,
crazy.
look, I mean, this thing is supposed to be over soon, we're hoping, and we can try to get back to normalcy and
some normalcy. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
God
then-
willing. God willing.
then we can
Yeah,
all
yeah.
get back on stage again. And fuck, that's why I don't get into it. I just live my life, try to smile, try to have fun, and don't be a douche. That's just
there
that's
you
how
go.
I do
Don't
it,
be a
man.
douche. That's all you can do. You know, and I'm glad you said that, Izzy. That it's just about being a decent human being. I mean, what happened to moral compass and shit, man? It's just,
social
some of the things
media.
I've seen. Social media.
The internet
That's
and
the
social
biggest
media.
culprit. As much as it is great, as much as it's a curse too.
Yeah.
It really is, and it just amplifies all the bad, all the craziness, man. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Jelly, dude, thank you so much. Hold on, we'll say goodbye off the air. I'm just going to hit my outro music one time here. And there that goes. Make sure you guys hit up the JellyBean Johnson website. It is jellybean-johnson.com. And thank you again, dude. I really appreciate it. This is a lot of fun,
I love
man.
you. You know for you. You know for you. You know
And
that.
likewise.
I love you. You be safe out here, man. You
Yeah.
Be safe. Watch your ass out here.
I'll do my best.
And we hook up. We hook up soon, my friend.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Hold tight. We'll say goodbye off the air. Make sure you hit up all the social media at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And, of course, show pages and other effing podcasts. Next week, I think we have a Drunken Summit with the rise and fall of the music magazine. Going to get everybody lined up for that. Make sure you go back to the YouTube and see all the other old episodes. And you can also follow on Spreaker. If you want to listen live, you want to comment and ask questions during the show, listen live on Spreaker. Hit up Spreaker.com/user/Izzy Presley to do that. What else do we got? If you want to donate, Izzy Presley at yahoo.com is the PayPal. Buy t-shirts. Just buy everything. Support me. Support my broke ass.
You and me both broke ass. I'm on Social
Exactly.
Security and unemployment.
Jelly, that's why I'm buying your vinyl. All right, we will see you guys next week. My name is Izzy Presley, and don't forget, what I lack in talent, I make up for in cock.